about a burning building and how a cadet, who's played by Frankie, needs to get the height. Right, Frankie?
Yes.
Okay. So our problem is number 18 from page 51, 2.3. And we pretty much drew the scenario here. This is a house, and this is our ladder, and this is the base, the concrete. It's technically not 6 feet as in shown in the video, but I mean you could get it could be about. It's not technically 19 feet, but it's well. You could notice that we could just assume that the building was taller, so the ladder has to be taller as well.
Hyperbole.
Yes, a hyperbole. A little. Okay. So since we got the hypotenuse, which is 19, and the base, which is 6, and we know that this is a right triangle, which is 90 degrees. We basically, with these measurements, we could find any angle we want. So we use an arc cosine in order to get an angle. In order to get this angle, to be precise. And so we use arc cosine, and we put 6 over 19, and we get 72 degrees. Now that we have 72 degrees, we add up to the other angle that we have, which is 90, to get 162. The reason why we got 162, and the reason why it's like glowing pretty much, is because this information is not really necessary, but I just wanted to add it through to show that we know what we're doing. Come on, you know. So we get 180, which is the total inside a triangle, minus 162, which is 18, which would be this angle right here. So now, after we get that, we get the sine of 72, which is this, and we solve for it. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, which is x, which is the height that we want, over hypotenuse, which is 19. So sine of 72 equals x over 19. We move the 19 to the sine of 72, which is sine of 72 times 19. And if you put that into calculators and figure out what the answer is, we get 18.07, which equals x, which you round it off, which is 18. That is the amount of feet that are needed for this. Technically, this isn't the right amount which would be needed in our video, but if you just assume that everything is balanced out, then that's how the firefighters would get the measurements they need. This is the best scenario that is needed. After we get that, Frankie could explain the actual storyline of what happens afterwards.
After what?
After we get the height, and the reason why the height was so important, because you know how the ladder could fall, and he'll explain why it's so important.
But you just did.
No.
Okay, so relative to our story of trying to save Wilson from the burning building, is the height of the wall is how much we need to know, because we need to set up the ladder at the correct height so we don't fall and so that the building doesn't collapse while it's burning. So that's why we figured out the height of the building. Yeah, so that way also so the ladder doesn't fall inward and someone falls into the burning, collapsing building and die. And so does Wilson die.
Wilson's our turtle. Wilson's our favorite turtle.
Wilson the Wonder Turtle. Just FYI.
George was a firefighter, but he helped us solve this equation, which wasn't that difficult, I guess. But it is a great example of how, a word problem could be made easy, I guess. And we're done.